Hello and welcome to CineQuest Video. We're going to be doing another review of the scariest movie we've ever heard, called Undertone.
You shouldn't have called out to her. It's what she wants.
Now, Bryce, my interest in this movie initially was primarily because they're doing podcasty stuff, you know? And
that was the first horror podcast movie.
Not really.
I know.
Actually, I saw one recently on Shudder called Monolith.
Okay, which came out first? This is 2025.
They're totally different movies, but still kind of have a similar kind of thing to it, you know? There's a lot of audio dread in there.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But yeah, man, this was an anticipated movie of this year. So, initial thoughts. What do you think?
I liked it, to be honest with you. It was, every scariest movie I've ever never heard or never seen or whatever.
Well, I believe the exact quote is that the scariest movie you'll ever hear.
Did they say? I never think
they said that in the fucking trailer.
Oh, okay.
Like in the trailer that's there, and you know, we have to always. Every time they say that, I'm like, oh man, now I'm gonna go in there and think this movie is not gonna be as scary as I thought.
Yeah,
it was gonna be because they gotta say all these stupid ass things.
Remember, I think I told you. Maybe it was a text, but I think I did tell you or said that. I have a bad feeling this movie's gonna not be very good.
Yeah. Because I mean, anytime they say, there's always quotes like some generic quote that says "scariest movie you'll ever see ever for this year," "scariest movie of 2026," whatever it's gonna be.
Yeah.
That's always. It turns your stomach a little bit, you know, because you're just like, oh man, now everything I was anticipating is gonna go out the window because this movie is gonna not live up to any hype that they're saying it is.
I mean, the thing is, it's not as experimental as like Good Boy or In a Violent Nature. Like they just play a lot with they do a lot of like Dutch angles, or it's like there's a lot of like Dutch angles. Like what's all these like tilted, and then they do a lot of things where it's like they kind of throw you off. Like they have like, you know, shots where she's like in the kind of like, you know, on the third of the screen, and they show a lot of like the background, like, oh, what's gonna go on there, man?
Yeah.
What's going on over there?
They did that kind of a lot in Long Legs, remember?
Oh, that's true.
So they were getting like these really wide shots, or these particular shots wherever there's like the background is blurry, and you kind of see like the darkness, and your eye. And they did this to me while I was watching the movie. They said that she's on a third of it.
Yeah.
And like. All this is just open space.
Yeah, it's all dark.
And it's getting closer, and she's almost getting cut out of the film, out of the shot. Mm-hmm. So you're going like,
you're
gonna miss something. You know, you're gonna miss something.
Yeah, it plays a lot on like subliminal type stuff, like obviously like the masking and the backwards stuff, but like even like with the visuals, they're trying to like you're like, is that a face in there? Like, what is there? And then sometimes they would show like a silhouette and stuff like that, and you know. So I'm kind of glad they didn't go like too much. Like I was really wondering how much this movie is just gonna be audio. You know, luckily they didn't do the whole thing. Like, it'd be funny if they just like did a whole 30 minutes just like black and all you heard.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, when they would fade to black and you hear like all this commotion and stuff, I was just like, you better show something right now. Like, you know. Overall, Bryce, I enjoyed this movie.
Yeah, I did too.
There was an unfortunate point in the film where I had to pee really bad, and I was like, I kept looking at my watch, and I was like,
yeah, it was funny because it was like the climax of the movie.
And I was just like, I was just like, I kept looking at my watch, and I was just like kind of shaking my legs, just like, ooh. And I was like, I hope you didn't see me thinking that I was getting bored watching the movie, but I was just like.
I thought you were getting scared.
No, and I was like, I have to pee.
Like, he's getting scared.
I'm just like convulsing.
I think I want the oven on, Bryce. I'll gotta go.
I gotta get out of here, man. I'll see you later. No, I really had to pee really bad, and I kept looking at the watch, and I was just like, man, I hope this isn't like the climb. I'm gonna miss something so important.
Giant ass icy starting to kick in. Huh?
No, it's because I had drinking a lot of water beforehand. So I'm over here trying to stay hydrated, and I'm over here getting penalized for it. So.
Yeah. Well, you didn't miss too much. Like it didn't. Like I think you got back just in time when they were listening to the final file or whatever.
Yeah, because I left when they were like just tailing off on the second file.
Yeah.
And I was just like, man, I think I can make it like in like 3 minutes or so. I was like, oh, get down there and pee real quick. But I came back just as like it was really starting to like hit that climax. Yeah.
I feel like it fell apart a little bit at the end. Like they were trying to throw in all the tricks, like anything they could, like spinning camera, do this, and like more just like traditional scares, like do that, like less audio stuff. Like I don't know, I don't know, but overall, I mean, it was well shot. I did enjoy it. Like I like that. Really like the atmosphere of the movie.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
like
me
that.
too.
They had that like dingy lighting, like all time, like you know the lamp and everything. You know, a lot of movies coming out with like I don't know why, but this is where it really pissed me off. They had to bring up the fucking witching hour, dude. I'm so tired of movies with the witching hour. Like, this ain't the fucking early 2000s anymore. You don't have to do the 3 a.m. stuff. You know what I mean? It's like, stop, dude. It's like, you played. Were you there when they were when the thing was like, you played the file at 3 a.m. The or something. You played the file at the witching hour.
It wasn't. I didn't hear all of it, but
dude,
I was just like, I noticed that every time it hit 3 o'clock, and I was just like. I go, first of all, let me say this, is that like, that was something initially I had in mind when we first started doing Valley Strange, to record the podcast in the 3 a.m. hours, because...
Yeah, what about everyone's going to work in the morning?
no one was working. See, like,
okay.
we all had days off and stuff like that, but like, everyone's schedule at that particular time was really wide open.
Yeah.
And everyone was up late anyways, so I was like, well, what are you gonna do then? But like, at that point I kind of abandoned that idea, because I was just like, let me just stay up until fucking 3 o'clock, and probably our recordings never just lasted that 1 hour. They're always like 3 or 4 fucking hours. I'm just like, are we gonna end up like the sun's coming up and it's like, well, stay tuned for the next episode. Like,
I will say this. I think it kind of makes me wonder, like, how much. I mean, obviously there is a lot of this in podcasts, I'm assuming, but I like how they're like, we got to get back into character. All right, and like, I was like, so you telling me that all the podcasts listen to this, that's not how people really are?
Well, see, you know, that whole getting into character thing, I was just like, I get that, but because I mean, they have to kind of like. I think more so the getting into character thing was like, we got to focus and like, finish.
Well, it's like, why? That's kind of. I just thought it was strange. Like, I guess are they? I thought that was a weird way of saying that. We got to get back into characters. If they're like making them like a fictional thing, like they're actually. I mean, you know what I mean? It's not like a podcast where they're playing characters, but I don't know, man. It's just.
Well, you're just considering like the show, you know, like for instance, like we're doing this review, right? And we kind of talk like this fairly regularly, you know. But
what do you mean, Ray? This is not how I talk.
This is the review voice we have all the time. Whenever time we're just talking in the parking lot. But yeah, I get that. Like, especially, you know, you're doing a show, you got to like kind of get into the moment. Yeah, that's what I think they meant necessarily. But saying getting into character seems like there's a little bit of like a falsehood when it comes to like them actually doing it. But yeah, I'm pretty sure there's lots of people that are just not that get into certain characters to review movies or do any other sort of podcast, and they're not talking very aggressively, you know, with these mics in their hands all the time. You know? So, I mean, here at CineQuest Video, we try to be a little bit more authentic with our reviews, you know, and you're not getting the most polished reviews out here, you know, which is the whole aspect of what we're doing here. But usually if you're doing a show like that, I think...
Gotta be a little more subtle, a little more like...
Well, you got to like take into account of all the cues, you know, playing into feeding off the other person. And or even if you have like audio files or you're trying to like segment things, you know, you got to kind of like get into that mindset. But yeah, and me like being the kind of a gearhead that I am, like I was like, oh, she's got the RE20, you know, like that's pretty sweet.
And she's got the proper clip for it too.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, she's got that's a pretty nice, sweet, simple setup that she's got. I'm like, oh, she's got the focus right now. Is that it's the single?
Yeah, I saw the focus right. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I was looking at the gear because every time there's gear on screen, I'm just like, oh, I gotta like. Just
what is that where she has the phone like calling into the?
I think this is Bluetooth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, because she was like recording the phone call. That was
kind
of cool.
Well, though. See, I don't know. She was the other guy was recording.
Oh, the other guy was recording.
The other guy is taking it.
Oh, okay.
So that guy probably has a bigger setup than she does.
Yeah, okay.
And she's got the more portable thing because like I think she's just recording locally.
She's also visiting her mom too. So that makes sense,
she's recording locally onto Logic.
Yeah,
that's what it was. Obviously, right? That's all Apple products right there.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And
gotta get your sponsors, man.
Yeah,
this is A24 vehicle now, man. So you got
exactly.
money.
So, and I think the other guy had more of the more complicated setup in his own space.
Like a triple screen, triple monitor. He's like analyzing the audio right now.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the movie for what it was. Was it the scariest movie? No, but I thought it had a nice bit of dread and tension, and of course the way it's shot is really nice too. And of course, you know, you get those voices. You know, especially if you're in a theater, you can hear it a little bit more detailed. All those little voices and the baby crying and the laughter that turns very ominous. You know, and then of course the deep voices of the scariness.
Yeah, yeah.
And of course, there's always things involved, culty like, which is, you know, I love. So I mean, that was all these aspects of this movie that I did enjoy. And it's a subtle, it's kind of a slow burn. You know, which I also enjoyed as well.
For sure. I was surprised to see them do like a whole. I guess like a demonic thing about it. I mean, I don't know what else like, you know, they don't really tell you too much of the story in the, you know, the trailer. They don't give too much away, but you know, I started seeing more of the posters with like the waveform looking like an inverted cross. And I was like, what is this gonna be like? So it's interesting, and all this movie really did was verify my belief that Catholic houses are the scariest houses. All this religious iconography is terrifying.
Yeah. It really is. I mean, growing up in a Mexican culture, you know, a lot of my family members, the older family members were very Catholic. Crosses everywhere. They had that Jesus that followed you around, the hologram.
Yes.
You know, and
you gotta feel that guilt 24/7, dude. Like,
you walk by and you look at it and it's like, you're like, don't touch yourself at all in this place.
And if you do, the eyes start bleeding.
Yeah. And, you know, there's like Virgin Mary statues everywhere. And like, again, like multiple crosses, especially, I remember at one point, my parents were Catholic, very casual Catholics, you know, but there was a silver cross over my doorway, you know, because it's protection, you know. But the strange thing about it is at some point, for some reason, they took a closer look and they were convinced in their mind that the face of the Jesus got all like this, like all like crumpled and stuff like that. Oh. I think that's just terrible craftsmanship. Oh. You know, I was thinking that in my head, but in their minds, that Jesus was very like this. But then when at some point they thought something evil, and it came around because someone was fucking around the Ouija board, and then they looked at the face and it was just like, they could think Jim Carrey like scrunching up his face. That's what it's even like. Yeah, like that.
Like a mask or something. It's all, somebody stop me.
Yeah, and he's just like, yeah. They thought they threw it out after that. They saw that it was like the face changed. I was like, what?
It turns out it was in the middle of winter and they had the heater on and it was too close to the vents.
It just melted. Yeah. But yeah, all those little things and whatnot, like Catholicism can be scary.
Right? Yeah, they really did a lot of the I thought that interesting, the whole kind of like Catholic guilt angle of this movie. Yeah. Because this movie also plays on like, okay, so you think audio, it's supposed to be an audio like an audio, it's obviously audio based, like most of it, so you kind of like, you start thinking like you're hearing things. Like honestly, when the movie first started and she was like calling the guy, I could have sworn I heard like a little voice somewhere in there, and I was like,
I think that's deliberate though.
Okay, so I don't know, I think
all that is deliberate with the film.
You getting me?
Yeah, I think they intentionally put like subtle like noises in between a lot of the, whenever they're recording the podcast or they're playing the audio. Like, all those little things are in there deliberately because, I mean, this is supposed to be the scariest movie we've ever heard, you know? So.
That's right, man.
But who directed this movie?
Let's see. Ian, I'm going to butcher this name, Tuason, I guess. Tuason.
Okay.
I don't know any movies he's ever done before. This may be his first one. Let's see.
Who's the girl?
Nina Curie.
I don't think I've ever. Maybe I've seen her before in films. I don't recall.
And I like Adam DeMarco plays Justin. Parentheses voice.
You never see his face. Yeah, because basically there's two people we see on screen all the time. I don't think we saw.
He's a handsome fellow. It's a shame he didn't get any. You know,
yeah, right? They're just like, your voice is sexy as hell. You got that podcaster voice that we need.
I also like that they credited the mom, Michelle Duquette, but she was pretty much comatose for the whole movie, but she did a good job being, yeah. A lot of these people just credited his voice because that's what it's funny.
We don't see anybody, but I mean that's why it plays into this whole audio film. You know, we got one person that we see normally. One, especially even the nurse shows up, and we don't ever see the nurse. We just hear the voice of the nurse. You know, like.
Let's see. Trying to see. I think this is his debut movie. Continuity problems, undertones, and extreme close up. I don't know any of those movies. The only one I know is Undertone.
I don't know. But I mean, good first try. I would say like that was pretty good.
He has got. Let's see. Right now, it has a 78% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 6.8 out of 10 on IMDb.
I think that sounds about right.
3.4 out of 5 on Letterboxd. I don't know if anyone knows about that.
Yeah, well, I think those ratings are fairly accurate. You know, I don't think most people are going to come in. People are going to go into this film, especially with all the promo and the hype that's going around the trailers.
How did it turn out on a Thursday?
Yeah, surprisingly.
So I was good. That's good.
I just think people are going to be like somewhat disappointed because they don't see much more of that stuff. But I mean, audio wise, it is creepy. Like, they do have a lot of creepiness factor.
No, I mean it definitely it did create a good creepy atmosphere, and it did have a few shares of jump scares or I don't know what's the audio equivalent of a jump scare, but it's in there. You know, it does get you.
Well, just a real quick about this film is that there's a woman who is doing a podcast. It's called Undertone. And she's in her mother's house because she's watching her because her mother is pretty much on her last, like she's dying.
She's in the hospice, I guess.
So she's basically just taking care of her until she passes away. And then, of course, as they record the podcast, they've kind of unleashed something in the audio that they receive mysteriously. And that's where the chaos kind of ensues. Like there's a lot of classical, like, ghost haunted, almost like haunted house kind of cliches in there, but
lights flickering,
tied to some kind of other thing with the audio that they're hearing. That the further they go along into listening to these audio clips, like something gets unleashed.
Yeah,
and so and of course you got the whole Catholic angle, which is I'm pretty sure there's other like messages underneath that. Maybe it's not really occulty, but having to do with the girl and how in her relationship with her mother or lack thereof, or how she feels like guilty for like abandoning her mother, and she thinks she may have caused some of her sickness or whatever.
Do you think the mom was in on it the whole time?
See, I was kind of thinking that
was interesting because she had that creepy ass statue. So I was like, yeah, I don't know.
You know, I had kind of like a Hereditary moment where like. I was thinking maybe the mom's involved, right?
Yeah.
And like she's really like a Catholic witch.
Yeah.
You know? She's like one of those. She's one of those brujas.
Yeah. She's
a
curandera kind of stuff. I thought, because the whole time I was thinking, man, is the mom like fucking with her? She's like fine the whole time. She's like tap dancing and shit. She's like, oh shit, she's coming.
Yeah, I thought at some point the mom was gonna wake up and be like, "It's me, darling."
Dude, I was waiting for when she's like, oh mom, she's like.
Yeah, didn't happen, but still, that's the kind of anticipation you have when you're watching this film. Like, you think you're kind of like on edge, thinking that these things are gonna happen, even though they may not. It still kind of like gets you to the point, and then you're like, oh, like relief, you know, and then something else kind of shows up, and you're just like, oh,
yeah.
But yeah, that's a good play with the audience, you know, like visually, and of course, like audio wise.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, as far as this film is concerned, overall, I did enjoy it. Is it the scariest movie? No. But I would say it's definitely holds a place in my top 10 so far.
Yeah.
For this year. Of course, the year's not over yet. We'll see how long that lasts, or maybe it gets pushed out for something even cooler like Hokum.
Hokum looks pretty good, man. I'm excited for Hokum, but I do have to question, like, is there no legal, like, standing on this whole use of scariest movie? Because I believe that they did say the scariest movie of all time or something like that.
The scariest movie you'll ever hear is what it says.
Okay, well, I guess, but, okay, so technically
but
you
I mean,
could say that because...
to be fair, there'd be, like, the scariest movie of 2026. They've probably said that so far.
Oh, okay,
said that.
Yeah.
If I didn't see it in the trailer, I'm sure someone's seen it, or someone kind of... is aggressively saying this is going to be the creepiest movie you've ever seen in your life. You know, like, I won't ever say that. If I genuinely thought a movie was that scary, I would say that. But no, this was a good movie. It's creepy. It's not like the creepiest thing you're ever gonna see. It's not gonna blow your fucking mind. But it was enjoyable.
Ooh, I bet this movie would be great to watch on headphones. A really good.
Oh yeah, dude, in the dark.
Yeah, a good pair, like a real good pair of headphones.
You know what? I think that's probably a marketing that would maybe that'll make the movie kind of grow in some popularity. People like, for instance, the way you have your computer set up here.
Yeah.
You have the windows behind you. You have your fucking creepy
Zombies.
shit still
Yeah.
there. Lights off, computer screen, watching the movie with headphones. That could really creep you out. I think your mind will probably play more tricks on you in the house by yourself in the dark with a computer screen with headphones on.
The other thing,
I think that would work way better for this movie.
and you gotta sit like she does with her fucking back against like the whole like open space.
Yeah.
What is with this? I wouldn't. I can't do that, man. I cannot. That's why I got my computers, because like it's back against something. I cannot be like staring at a screen and think I have like all this empty space behind me. It's like, I don't know.
See,
That shit freaks me out.
That's why it would play tricks on you. You know, if you're just staring at the computer. Yeah. If I was in here by myself watching that movie with headphones on, I'd be like,
Yeah, you would. Yeah. Yeah.
right. Even if you were to like cause a noise, like, "Huh?"
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. It's a goose.
Yeah. And you know, that's why a lot of the times when I would set up my computer space, it was always close to like a wall or something. You know, like it's. I don't really think anything's gonna happen, so to speak, but it still plays mind games with you.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean that's still kind of cool in a sense, but I mean at this age, I'm not into that. So when I was younger, hell yeah, man, I don't mind being scared. I was like, I just need to enjoy this. I don't need to be like freaked the fuck out the whole time. So but yeah, I enjoyed it. What about you?
Yeah, I enjoyed it too. I was pleasantly surprised that it was not as bad as I was anticipating, because when this movie was announced, I was excited that A24 picked it up and come to theaters. But then when I started doing all that hype, I was like, oh man, this is gonna be bad. Like, because what was the movie we just recently? Oh, I guess Psycho Killer, but it didn't really get that much hype. But that was like, oh god, I was so scared, man. I was like, no.
Well, the thing is that like we kind of started off fairly decent. You know, Primate, 28 years later, Bone Temple, which were good. Yeah. Enjoyable. But then there's some other films that have come out that have not piqued my interest too much. I'm going to watch them eventually. But to go to... I even mentioned this whenever we did our top 10 of 2025, is that I was going to be more selective going to the theater to watch certain films. So I'll say my overall rating for Undertone is going to be about a 3.75, kind of just over the midway point. I think that's a pretty accurate review or rating for this particular movie. And you, Bryce?
I will give it a 3.5, right smack dab in the middle. Enjoyable, not overly memorable, but definitely a good atmosphere. Like it was a creepy movie.
I think as a podcasters, I think I enjoyed this movie more because of that aspect.
Yeah,
and it did give me encouragement for some reason to kind of delve into Valley Strange again.
Oh, all right.
Because I want to see how far I can go when it comes to, like, you know, like in the film, they kind of like they're going further into like this like kind of chaotic audio, and like maybe it's causing some kind of chaos.
Oh, so you're hoping to unleash some kind of like demonic force at some
yes.
point? Yes. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm hoping to kind of like open some doors.
Yeah.
Not for opportunities, but for like ghostly figures or something to kind of come into play on this podcast of Valley Strange, and hopefully at some point we'll get it back off the ground and see where it goes from there. Yeah, because it was one of our more popular ones, you know, and but it was a lot of work.
I think you just go full blown like Zach Bagans Ghost Hunter with it. Yeah, don't even just take it full video like format. Be like, we're here at what was the place in Rio Grande City, or what was it, the haunted hotel?
I know, but it was a red room in that particular hotel. Oh, the boardroom. The boardhouse or something like that.
We're at the famous boardhouse, and the fucking attendant's like, sir, are you going to check in by any chance?
He go, check in.
Yeah.
Check in. Bullshit. Gorilla style. We fucking run to the room, calling out ghosts. Come on out, ghost. We get pulled away. No, stop. Yeah. You know, I mean, I've considered that, but I mean, obviously, that requires a bit of a team and or
Who's
more
gonna be your
money.
best boy group, man? You gonna have somebody like doing all that, or no? I guess you don't need to anymore.
No, I mean, look. We got some pretty decent audio just with these little clip-on things, and I mean, if you want redundancy and stuff, then I have that option too.
Have you ever seen Paranormal Twins on YouTube?
Yeah, I have. Yeah,
my parents
It's
love
all
that.
silly.
My parents
It's all
love that.
silly
My parents
stuff.
love that show, and it's so fucking stupid. But they just got that one guy with the camera. That could be me, you and Roland. I'll just be like, oh.
You're in there like, Bryce, did you feel that? Fuck yeah. Yeah, and we just feel everything.
Yeah,
you know,
it's
like,
all about feeling. That's all it is. Vibes, dude.
Just walking in there, we're like, oh god, it's cold in here.
Yeah.
You know, you just see the smoke come out from this way from my own mouth and shit. Like, you go like just terrible at just faking the whole thing. You know.
Oh my god, it's so cold in this room. Fucking like zooms in on the fucking the thermostat's like 16 shit.
You go, this is a cold spot. Look at it.
Yeah.
My nipples are so hard. Anyways, again, well, that'll be our review for a CineQuest video, and kind of give us encouragement to start Valley Strange again, to get really creepy with it, you know, like really trying to delve into some real evil spirits that a lot of people that are really like on the underbelly of a lot of like occult things, you know, like there's a lot of like really scary type of figures that allegedly, like, you know, like the hierarchy of like angels and demons and stuff like that. There's some weirdos out there. You know?
And Psycho Killer got me excited to go back and do some more like Michelle Remembers type shit. Like I know there's a bunch of other books that like there was other like Satanic Panic books too.
And I have quite a bit of
true
them.
story.
Yeah.
That supposed true stories. I don't think we ever got into those.
I think we should. I think honestly, I think we should explore more of the toy aspect of it. You know, like
oh yeah,
like the Ninja Turtles and the games. And
He-Man was like the biggest.
Right. I can go imagine someone from
the biggest perpetrator of demonic evil. Like
when they look at the cod piece, you go,
Yeah.
that cock is putting spells on the children. Okay, everyone, thank you for watching CineQuest video. This is our third attempt at the outro. We'll see you on our next review. Hopefully that recorded. Bye.